My fiancée kept her ex's photos in a memory box in our closet. When I asked about it, she said, "Grow up. My past is none of your business." So I started my own memory box, filled with receipts for the return of her ring, canceled wedding venue, and new apartment lease. Left it on her pillow with a bow. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I met Emily 3 years ago at a mutual friend's barbecue. She was this vibrant graphic designer, full of ideas and energy, and I was the steady software developer who'd just hit his stride at a decent tech firm. We clicked instantly, late-night talks about dreams, weekend hikes, the whole package. I was all in from the start. After 2 years, I proposed on a trip we'd planned together, down on one knee at this scenic overlook she'd always talked about. She said yes, tears in her eyes, and we started building what I thought was our future. I wasn't some naive guy rushing in. I'd been in relationships before, but Emily felt different. I showed my commitment in real ways. When she lost her job 6 months into dating, layoffs hit her agency hard. I covered our dates, helped with her rent without making a big deal, even connected her with contacts in my network. She landed a better gig eventually, and I was genuinely happy for her. Flash forward to engagement. I paid for most of the wedding stuff because my job was stable, and she was still rebuilding savings. Venue deposit? On me. Her dress fittings? I drove her, waited patiently. I skipped a big promotion opportunity that would have meant relocating because she wasn't ready to move yet. We're a team, I'd say, and she'd smile, squeeze my hand. Looking back, those sacrifices sting, but at the time, they felt right. I was loyal, committed, the guy who showed up every day. Things started cracking about 4 months before the wedding. We were living together in a cozy apartment in the city, and I'd been handling most of the planning logistics while she focused on her portfolio for a potential freelance jump. One weekend, I was reorganizing the closet, spring cleaning mode, trying to make space for wedding gifts people had started sending. That's when I found it, a shoebox tucked way in the back, labeled Memories in her handwriting. Curiosity got me. I figured it was old family photos or something sentimental we'd laugh about. Nope. Inside were pictures of her and her ex, Jake. Not just 1 or 2, dozens. Them on vacations, at parties, intimate shots like him kissing her cheek. Love letters he'd written, ticket stubs from concerts they'd gone to, even a dried flower pressed between pages. This wasn't ancient history. They'd broken up maybe a year before we met, and some stuff looked recent enough to overlap with her single phase. My stomach dropped. It felt like emotional cheating, like she was keeping a backup plan alive in our shared space. Why hide it if it was nothing? I didn't freak out right away. I put the box back, took a walk to clear my head. That night, over dinner, I brought it up calmly. Hey, Emily. I was cleaning the closet and saw that memory box. The photos of Jake. What's that about? She paused mid-bite, then rolled her eyes like I'd asked something ridiculous. Seriously? Grow up. My past is none of your business. I blinked, trying to process. We're engaged. Getting married in 4 months. Doesn't that make us each other's business? It feels disrespectful to have that stuff in our home. She set her fork down, crossing her arms with this smug little smile. Disrespectful? It's just memories. Everyone has a past. Doesn't mean I'm hung up on him. Jake was a big part of my life before you showed up. If you're insecure about that, maybe you need to work on yourself. What? You want me to burn everything? That's controlling. I pushed back gently. I'm not asking you to burn it. But keeping it hidden in our closet? It makes me feel like I'm competing with a ghost. If it's so innocent, why not tell me about it? Her tone sharpened, dismissive as hell. Because it's none of your damn business. I don't grill you about your exes. This is my private stuff. If you can't handle a box of old photos, maybe you're not ready for marriage. God, you're acting like a jealous teenager. The twisted logic hit me hard. She flipped it like I was the problem, insecure, controlling, while defending her right to hoard mementos of another guy in the home we shared. No apology, no empathy, just smug deflection. I felt undervalued, like all my efforts were invisible. That night, I lay awake, confusion swirling. Had I missed signs? Was this emotional abandonment, her heart not fully in it? It felt outrageous, undeserved after everything I'd given. The next few days were tense. I didn't push more, but the box gnawed at me. She'd glance at her phone more, laugh at texts she wouldn't share. I started piecing it together. Late work, nights, vague excuses. One evening, I saw a notification pop up, Jake's name. She snatched the phone away, but the damage was done. When I asked, she doubled down. Old friends can talk. You're paranoid. It was manipulation, gaslighting me into doubting my gut. I sat with it for a week, the unfairness sinking in. No begging, no ultimatums. I wasn't going to fight for someone who treated me like a backup. Instead, I detached quietly. Started planning my exit. First, I returned the engagement ring to the jeweler, got a partial refund since it was custom, printed the receipt. Then, canceled the wedding venue. They kept the deposit, but I got confirmation emails. Forwarded those, printed, scouted apartments, signed a lease on a one-bedroom closer to work, better commute, fresh start. Receipt for the security deposit? Printed. I even canceled shared subscriptions, transferred utilities to her name alone. Methodical, no drama. Then, the memory box. I bought a similar shoebox, labeled it My Memories. Inside, all those receipts, plus a note. My future is none of your business. Tied it with a bow, left it on her pillow while she was out at drinks with friends. Packed my essentials, left the key on the counter, and walked out. No note beyond that, no confrontation. Just gone. She blew up my phone that night. Texts first. What the fuck is this box? Are you kidding me? Then calls. I let it ring twice before picking up the third. Explain yourself, she demanded, voice laced with fury and that same smug edge, like she couldn't believe I'd dare. Emily, it's over. The box says it all. She laughed, but it was bitter. Over a stupid memory box? You're throwing away our future because of some old photos? That's petty as hell. I told you. It's nothing. Jake and I are just friends now. You're overreacting, making this into something it's not. Friends who text late at night? Who you hide from me? A pause, then her twisted justifications poured out. Okay, fine, we've been talking more. But it's because you're always so predictable. Working late, planning everything safe. Jake gets my creative side. It's not cheating, it's emotional support. If you were more exciting, maybe I wouldn't need that. And keeping the box? It's harmless nostalgia. You're punishing me for having a life before you? That's insecure bullshit. We can fix this, therapy, whatever. But this stunt? Immature. Her logic was a pretzel. Blaming me for her secrecy, justifying contact with Jake as my fault, dismissing the betrayal as nostalgia. Smug, like she held all the cards. You'll regret this. No one else will put up with your control issues. I stayed calm, no outburst. I'm not discussing it. Goodbye, Emily. Hung up, blocked her number. No begging, no emotional plea, just detachment. I drove to my new place, unpacked in silence. The confusion lingered that night. How had it unraveled so fast? But underneath, a spark of clarity. I dodged a bullet. The silence after was heavy. I didn't badmouth her to mutuals, just said we'd split amicably. Focused on me, hit the gym, nailed a side project at work that led to a raise. But I let the betrayal breathe. Long walks alone, journaling the unfairness, the way her words echoed. It hurt, feeling like a stepping stone. Yet, slowly, vulnerability shifted to resolve. I was building something better. The weeks after I left were a blur of quiet adjustment. I didn't blast our mutual friends with details, kept it simple. We decided it wasn't working out. No drama, no venting sessions. I figured if she wanted to spin her version, let her. Me? I focused on rebuilding. My new apartment was sparse at first, just a bed, a desk, and boxes stacked in the corner. But it felt like a blank canvas. For the first time in years, I wasn't planning around someone else. I let the betrayal sit with me, didn't rush to get over it. Those early nights, I'd stare at the ceiling, replaying her words. Grow up. My past is none of your business. It echoed, mixing with memories of what I'd sacrificed. Like that time last year when she was stressed about her freelance pitch. I'd stayed up all night helping her refine her portfolio, even called in sick to work the next day. Or when I turned down that promotion because it meant moving to the coast, and she said she needed stability here. Flashbacks hit hard. Me driving her to job interviews, celebrating her wins like they were mine. And for what? To be dismissed as insecure for questioning a box of ex-mementos in our closet. The unfairness burned. Loyalty repaid with smug deflection, like I was the villain for caring. Confusion lingered. Was I overreacting? Friends would text casual check-ins, and I'd dodge the deep stuff. One night, a buddy from work invited me out for beers. "You seem off, man." "Everything good." I shrugged it off, but inside, vulnerability clawed at me. Why keep the box if she was committed? Why the secret text with Jake? It felt like emotional abandonment. Her heart split, me as the safe bet while she romanticized the past. I journaled it out, pages of what-ifs turning into why-nots. Why not focus on me? The silence amplified it all. No calls from her after I blocked. Just the weight of what was lost. But slowly, things shifted. I started small. Joined a gym near the new place, something I'd always talked about but put off for us time. Pounded the treadmill, lifted weights, felt the fog lift with each rep. Work picked up too, a side project I'd shelved during wedding planning. I dusted it off, coded late into the nights. My boss noticed, floated a raise and more remote flexibility. "You've got fire again," he said. I even tried dating apps casually, not rushing, just dipping a toe. Met a few people for coffee, nothing serious, but it reminded me I wasn't broken. Months ticked by, 3, then 4. I heard whispers through the grapevine. Emily had jumped right back into things with Jake, posting vague stories on social media about rediscovering old flames. Mutual friends mentioned it awkwardly. "She's different now." I didn't pry, didn't stalk her profiles. I'd unfollowed everything. But the updates trickled in. At first, it sounded rosy. Trips with him, laughs at old haunts. Part of me wondered if I'd been wrong, if her nostalgia really was harmless. Then cracks showed. A friend from our old circle texted, "Hey, you okay? Emily's been venting about Jake being intense." I kept responses neutral, haven't talked to her. Inside, clarity grew. The betrayal's sting faded, replaced by resolve. I upgraded the apartment, added plants, a better coffee setup. Landed that raise, started saving for a solo trip I'd always wanted. My internal voice evolved, from "how could she" to "good riddance." I felt free, lighter. The unfairness? It fueled me, not defined me. By month 5, I was thriving in the quiet, cooking new recipes, reading books she'd dismissed as boring, even picked up hiking solo. Vulnerability turned to strength. I was emotionally recalibrating, no longer confused but clear-eyed about what I deserved. Word got around more. Another mutual, Sarah, called out of the blue. "Just checking in. Emily's not great. Jake's got issues." I listened politely, but detachment held. The middle stretched, letting me breathe, process, rise. No rush to karma. I was already winning by moving on. That's when her world started crumbling for real. It came in bits at first, then all at once. From what I pieced together, mostly unsolicited updates from friends who'd started distancing themselves. Jake wasn't the charming ex she'd painted. Turns out, he was unstable, a serial cheater with a temper. They'd moved fast after I left. She ditched our old apartment, shacked up with him in some rundown spot on the outskirts. But the honeymoon phase cracked quick. He drained her savings on business ideas that went nowhere, some vague startup scheme that sounded like a scam. Friends said she'd show up to gatherings looking drained, making excuses for his absences. Then it escalated. One night, apparently, he blew up over nothing, smashed her phone during an argument about money. She confided in a couple mutuals, but twisted it. "He's passionate, you know?" But the truth leaked. Bruises hidden under sleeves, late-night calls to friends begging for rides home. Jake cheated too, openly flirting online, even with her acquaintances. When she confronted him, he gaslit her, called her clingy for questioning his past. Sound familiar? Hypocrisy at its finest. Karma hit her job next. Distracted by the drama, she missed deadlines, lost clients. Her freelance gig dried up, the agency let her go. Broke and isolated, she crashed with her sister temporarily, but even that soured. Family dynamics were toxic, always had been. Mutual friends stopped defending her. After what she pulled with you, the box thing? We saw the post she made shading you as controlling. But now, yeah, we're team you. Reputation unraveled, invites dried up. She became irrelevant in our old circle, whispers turning to avoidance. By month 6, she was a shell, alone, scraping by on odd jobs. Jake long gone after discarding her like yesterday's news. He'd moved on to someone new, left her with debts and regrets. It felt earned, ironic. The guy she kept mementos for proved exactly why she'd left him originally. No exaggeration, just the fallout of her choices. Satisfying? Quietly, yes. But I didn't gloat. Life moved on. The unraveling didn't stop there, and soon enough, the attempt started. At first, it was subtle. About 7 months after I left, a text from an unknown number slipped through. "Hey, it's Emily. New phone. Miss talking. Can we grab coffee?" I ignored it. Blocked. But she persisted, switching to email. I was stupid. The box was a mistake. Thinking of you. Progressive desperation, like clockwork. I stayed silent. No replies, letting her stew in the void I'd created. Then the calls ramped up. One evening, as I was wrapping up a workout, my phone buzzed. Her sister's number, which I hadn't blocked yet. I answered out of curiosity. "This is Lisa," she snapped, no hello. "You're being heartless. Emily's a mess because of you. Fix this. Man up and call her." Toxic as ever. Her family always enabled her. Rude demands wrapped in guilt. I said calmly, "Not my problem," and hung up. Block that too. The real escalation hit with her direct outreach. A voicemail first. "Please pick up. Jake was a huge mistake. He hurt me bad, emotionally, and worse. I realize now you were the best thing I had." Hypocrisy dripped from every word. She begged for the forgiveness she'd never offered me. I deleted it. But she called again the next day, and this time I answered, keeping it brief. "Hello," I said, neutral. Her voice cracked, pleading. "Thank God. Look, I know I screwed up. The box, the text with Jake, it was dumb nostalgia. I threw it all out weeks ago. Let's talk, start over. I see now how good we were. You supported me through everything, and I took it for granted. Emily, I'm not interested." A pause, then desperation turned to edge. "Not interested? After 3 years? You're just gonna throw it away like that? I need you. Things are falling apart here. Job's gone. Jake left me broke. Come on, we can fix this." I felt the power reversal. She'd been smug, dismissive, now unraveling, grasping. "No, we're done." Her tone shifted to anger, true colors flashing. "You're cold. After everything I went through? Jake was abusive, okay? He hit me, drained my accounts. And you're just fine? How can you be so heartless? If you ever loved me, you'd help. Goodbye." I hung up. No sympathy. No, that's awful. She wasn't getting an ounce of care from me. Blocked the email too. But she didn't stop. Mutual friends got roped in. Mike, a guy from our old group, texted, "Dude, Emily's begging me to talk to you. She's desperate. Says she learned her lesson." Unpleasant pressure, but I replied, "Tell her no." Even Sarah, who'd clued me in earlier, got involved. She's crashing on my couch, crying nonstop. Maybe hear her out. Toxic ripple effect, but I detached. Not happening. The peak came when she showed up in person. 8 months post-split, I was leaving work, new office, promotion in hand, when I spotted her in the lobby, disheveled, eyes puffy. "Please," she started, voice trembling. I threw out the box, deleted Jake's number. "Let's start over. I was wrong, so wrong. You deserve better, but give me a chance to be that." I kept walking toward the door. "Leave, Emily." She followed, tearful now. "Wait. I see you're doing well. New place, everything. That's great. But we could have that together. I messed up, but forgive me? For us." Her phone buzzed then. Group call from her family. She put it on speaker like an ambush. Her mom. "Young man, you owe her closure." Sister again. "Stop being a jerk. Take her back." Rude, demanding, unpleasant as hell. I stopped, looked her dead in the eye. "This is over. Leave." No outburst, just firm. She crumpled, anger bubbling under tears. "You'll regret this. No one else will want you." But the power had flipped. She was desperate. I was composed, walking away unscathed. Security escorted her out. That night, I felt the shift complete. Her attempts highlighted my growth. She was powerless, irrelevant. The final nail came at our mutual friend Sarah's wedding, 9 months after the split. I'd RSVP'd yes, figuring I'd moved on enough. Walked in with Anna, a woman I'd met through hiking meetups, genuine connection building slow. We weren't labeling it yet, but she was there, laughing at my bad dance moves, making the night fun. I was thriving, raise secured, trip to Europe booked, life upgraded. Emily was there too, alone, in a rumpled dress that looked last minute, eyes darting. Mutuals whispered, Her downfall was on display. Isolated, no Jake, no job glow. She cornered me during cocktail hour, away from the crowd, but public enough for contrast. Seeing you happy, it hurts, she said, voice desperate, glancing at Anna. Give us another chance? I know I was cruel, but I've changed. Please. I sipped my drink, calm and firm. Emily, you're irrelevant now. I've built a life without you. Better, actually. My past with you is none of your business. She flinched, hypocrisy mirrored back. But we had something real. I emphasized. I learned from it, to value myself. Met someone who does too. I nodded toward Anna, who waved politely. The reversal stung her. Me thriving, her desperate. Power flipped. She teared up. This isn't fair. Goodbye, Emily. No sympathy, no care for her well-being, just definitive closure. She slunk away, alone amid the celebration. Internally, I felt free, emotionally evolved. The betrayal a distant echo. Blocked the last stragglers that night. Update, a year out, life's golden. Anna and I are official, work's booming. Emily, radio silence. Moral? Don't settle for backups. Thanks for reading, Reddit. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.